we all work hard, like, to get where we're at. And I think we just appreciate that much more. And it exudes through everything Senior Life does.
Yeah.
You can feel it. It's just a different vibe. And we make no apologies for it.
No, not at all.
I love it.
Not at all.
I love it. And y'all bend over backwards for us the same way we do for y'all. One hand washes the other, the both wash the face.
There you go.
And that's it.
There it is.
That's it.
Roach, Director of Marketing with Senior Life Insurance Company. As you can see, we are at the home office here in Thomasville, Georgia, and we are all fired up. In this episode, you just watched the previous one with Kiki, and we mentioned somebody very amazing in that previous one, and that's who we are fortunate enough to interview today. So, Joanne, how are you doing today?
I am amazing, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. First of all, please don't call me Tom.
Okay, so cut.
But we'll just keep going. How do you attribute, you have a tremendous amount of amazing energy. You're always such an amazing spirit. Where does that come from?
God, I guess.
Okay.
Right?
Have you just always been that way?
Just naturally bubbly person.
Okay.
It sucks the life out of me to be mean or upset or negative. So I'm just me.
So how do you find that personal balance? Because you're a person that is very much able to get down to business and everything that means, but at the same time, you still maintain that bubbly personality.
Right.
But you can take care of the things you need to take care of. How do you balance that duality within yourself?
I honestly don't know. It's just as I've gotten older, actually I've matured. I've always been, I guess,
as silly as you are, you've matured,
right? Still silly, right? But I've just learned how to balance it. Like it's just a sandwich, right? Yeah. So I've been thrown into, I guess, leadership roles since early 20s. So I've been managing adults since I was a kid.
Okay.
So I've learned the hard way on how to tone it down, right?
Definitely.
And to grow up when it's time to grow up and have fun when it's time to have fun.
There it is. Prior to coming on board with Senior Life, I know you had done some other kinds of jobs. I know one was a long time in a call center, I believe. What are some of the things that you did before you ever even got into Final Expense, whenever you were managing those people in your 20s? And
I started as a nurse. I did nursing.
Oh, wow.
Right? Everybody's just like, oh.
Like, you studied nursing or professionally were a nurse?
I studied nursing. I went to basically do the boards, and in between, like while I was studying to take my boards, I went and got my first real job, so to speak.
Right.
Because my parents paid for nursing school, and I was sick of being broke, right? Or relying on them.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Let me get a job, a real job. And I basically got referred to a durable medical equipment company.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Right? I was like, well, look at me. I'm grown. I'm at a company, right? I have a real job.
Right.
So I did that, and I literally got promoted within my first, 2 months there?
Oh, wow.
Right? And so here we are 10 years later.
You were with that company for 10 years?
I was with that company for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Like, I never looked back, and I was like, okay, I'm making all this money without all the responsibility of a nurse, right? And I hated nursing. Like, I did it for my parents. They paid for it. They wanted me to be a nurse. I did it. But I've always been a naturally caring person.
Right.
And that would exude through my calls while I was taking care of my customers or the patients, things like that. So, they heard it, they saw it, they could feel my passion. When I spoke with my customers, and I had the lowest cancellation rate in the company.
Oh, wow.
And, with durable medical equipment, we were dealing with Medicare, things like that. And you're trying to, get these patients. And I could basically, empathize with them because I had that patient care already, right? That bedside manner, so to speak, from nursing. So I flourished.
Wow.
And I was able to transition that right into my agents and my team. And that's...
Why would you do that then? If you go a decade or more in an area where you're doing so well, you're in charge of people, you said you were flourishing, like why would you even take a change in careers like that?
Because I had hit the ceiling. I was bored. I literally had went through every department in that company. Like, we had been bought out several times, and just different, it was you know how they say you have to go through some things just to make you who you are for the day?
Definitely.
That was that, right? So that was the stepping stone to my next, career choice, so to speak, right? Then I went into the dental space, right?
Okay.
So I did the DME side for 10 years, give or take, and then I was in the dental space, the dental plan space for 3 years before I just gave my 2 weeks, took that leap of faith, and never looked back.
How'd you find out about Final Expense going from
So Final Expense was introduced to me by Kiki, who was on the previous episode, right? My partner in crime. Shout out, Kiki, right? So she had met, one of her significant other at the time. They went to a wedding, and one of the top producers or managers, whatever he was, for another company, she went to his wedding, and all the people at that wedding were wearing these big old rings or whatever. And she's like, oh, what do y'all do or whatever? And they literally try to recruit her at the wedding, of course, right then and there. Since she asked, okay, we're going to tell you. And so Kiki, as you probably know by now, she came from a TSA background, right? Yeah. And me, I've taught sales, I've trained sales, I've managed sales. Like I know sales. And I'm like, if Kiki can do it, like she went and got her license.
Right.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. And she showed me her first check. And I was like, you did what? You just had to do what? And that's what you got. She was like, girl, I can't believe it. I said, shut up. I'm going to get my license. I put all my life on hold and went and got my license. And yeah, it was real.
Wow.
It was real. And I was like, okay, so love Final Expense. Okay, I could do this. But then, downside to that is chargebacks, right? And you felt that right away. And those of you who don't know what a chargeback is, that's when, a policy cancels on you. They take it right back. Right. The money you just earned comes right back out your account. That hurts to the core. Right. So then also leads, right? You got to have leads. Yeah. You can't have a store with no inventory. No one's going to shop. Right. You'll go broke. So the company that I was with previously, you had to go out of town to get leads. Okay. Also, you had to be in, complete strangers' homes, which I didn't like that. I came from call center. I want to do call center. So I was like, you know what? There has to be a way. And I found out you could actually sell Final Expense over the phone. I said, well, who knew? Yeah. Who knew? I did my research, and I had, I was telling Kiki, I was like, Kiki, we got to find somewhere where we could do it over the phone. She said that you were doing a whole lot of research, like sending her I did 50, 60 videos a day. I did. Like, she just ignored me. She ignored me. I was like, you know what? I don't feel like you really respect me. I feel very one-sided in this endeavor, Kiki. She's like, Joe, you send me some every 10 minutes. And you say, this is the one. So I don't know what you want from me. I was like, but this is the one. So finally, I fell back a little bit, and then some life event always happens where you're like, you know what? Yeah. I'm quitting. I can't stand this way. Where your current situation. And so I was researching, and I found Senior Life, and I was like, oh, this is the one. This is the one. And I sent it to her. And literally, that's like the first response I've gotten from her on that level in like weeks. And I'm like, she's like, Joe. I was like, right? It's like almost too good to be true. And that's only because, by now I was already with a broker. Right. I was licensed with several other carriers. Yeah. Right. I was just about to start writing business for another company over the phone. Okay. Right. Right. But it was, and they did Final Expense too, but they had other products. But I just felt comfortable with this. And I researched it. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, I think we can do this. This sounds about right. I sent it to Kiki, and she got just as excited, which was rare. So I was like, okay, we can roll with this. Yeah. And sure enough, literally the next day, Mark was in our DM. Yes. So tell me, who is Mark? What does Mark mean to you? So Mark is my brother from another mother, right? Mark is basically who brought me and Kiki into the business, right? We actually had reached out to Ramon first, who had just, he did his thing. And he was like, no, you need to get with Mark. Oh, wow. And sure enough, Mark was, do you see how that works though?
Yeah, it's funny.
Full circle,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because we would have been Ramones.
Right.
Think about it. Ramon. Anyway, I love Ramon. Okay. Let's just put that out there on the record. I love Ramon. Okay. So, as fate would have it, Mark was in my DM the next day.
Wow.
And I contracted on the spot.
Right then and there.
I spoke to him. I loved his energy. He loved mine. I said, send me the link. I had my agent number by the end of the day.
Were you completely confident in that decision? I mean, going from a 10+ year career, now going to another company, now doing the broker thing. So after leaving that long career, you're kind of floating around a little bit before you came home to Senior Life. Were you 100% confident in that decision whenever you contracted that day?
Absolutely. Because what I do, I tend to pray on things before I jump into them. Mm. I just get a feeling, and I felt good about it. And the thing, it has to make sense to me.
Yeah. Everything
else didn't make sense to me just yet. But this was so simple. And the current model that I was using for the position that I was in the dental space, mm-hmm. I just removed the dental product and inserted Senior Life's product.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, we could do this. We could completely build an entire call center off of this. Yeah, and that's where that idea came from.
Okay. So what you said that there was moments, whenever you were traveling and stuff, you were going out of town. Was it pretty scary for you to do field sales as a young woman?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just want it to be up to me, right? Mm-hmm. When I feel like, breaking up the monotony, mm-hmm. I'll go knock on a door too, right?
Right.
But in my zip code, in my area, like right. It's on my terms.
Yeah.
And me, I'm a control freak. I like to have control of my destiny. It's my destiny. I want control, right?
Yeah.
So I want to be able to, this is the zip code that I want to do, and that's it, right? So literally, I got particular to the point that, look, if you don't have things in this zip code, I don't want it. Mm. And I'll just do the phone.
Yeah.
Right? So now I had the complete, ability to either do phone or field mm-hmm. because, and that's not for everyone, just so you know, right? Everyone can't do both, right? But you do have individuals who can because mm-hmm. I came from a face-to-face sale. Like as a teenager, I worked at, retail, of course.
Yeah. So
I knew face-to-face sales, and then I knew phone sales because I managed phone sales for all my adult life. So the straw that broke the camel's back, it was right after a hurricane. We went to Cocoa Beach. Mm. And the last, I don't know what he was, but something off of a movie, answered that door. Mm. And my heart fell to and I just knew. I was like, okay, so this is the end. This is how I'm going to go. They're going to find me in a gajillion pieces in this man's. Right. It was one of those. Right. You just got the feeling. So when I walked in, I was like, hold on, let me tell my husband. He's the sheriff here. He likes me to tell him.
Right.
Everywhere I go. Right? Right. I was going to leave with a check one way or another.
One way or another.
Oh, gosh. Okay, but yeah. That was it. After that, I was done.
It's very interesting because one of the people that were like the pioneers of telesales in Final Expense, of course, is Ron Powell,
right,
president of our company. So it is pretty awesome that that's the area that you wanted to focus on, and you wind up at the company that pretty much started it in Final Expense.
Right.
It's funny how that happens. Let's kind of talk a little bit. In the last 2 months, you've written well over $80,000 in personal production, averaging it at just over $40,000 each month. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are aware of that. We put it in the Scoop. You've actually been on the cover of the Scoop. Everybody's asked you the same question, and I know you don't want to give any details necessarily, but how'd you do it?
I was sick of me. I get sick of me pretty easily.
Sick of you?
I get sick of me.
What do you mean?
I had to get out of my own way.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
Like, Joe, what are you doing? Like, you're going to let all these people beat you month over month over month over month. And, I got out of my own way. I quit being lazy, quit making excuses, right? And stop being so complacent. Like, how could you have just started a whole new career and gotten complacent that quickly?
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was time to show out.
Okay.
That's it, right?
That's it. That was just that simple.
That's it. Was it that simple? I wish, right? No, I stopped being lazy. And it was just coming, it exploded. And I know nothing happens for, no reason, right? There's always reasoning behind it. There was there was dark day. There were dark days. There were dark days. And I said, you know what? No more dark days.
Right.
No more broke days. No more, the life of an entrepreneur. We know once you get in this business, you don't work, you don't eat. Straight up.
Yeah.
You literally don't work, you don't eat.
Right.
Right? So my back was up against the wall, and I had to think outside the box and stop being so lazy. That's it.
And just hit it running after that.
I just killed it.
Killed it.
I was trying to go for 20,000. I wanted a 20K club shirt.
I felt like that was
That's
actually
it.
directed at somebody
Right?
the way you looked at the camera.
I wanted a 20K. All I had was a little 10K shirt.
Yeah.
I said, I want 20K shirt.
Right. So what they do? They make a 40K for you, or they just gave you two 20K
I came
shirts?
with a 40-40 club shirt. I said, if I don't get a 40-40 club shirt,
Right.
I don't want it.
Right.
So they're creating a shirt just for me.
There you go. There you go. Sometimes you got to do that to be the trendsetter.
Right?
In order to do all that, though, you have an amazing person in your corner. A lot of these kinds of things, the success, a lot of people attribute others the aid in that success. Somebody that handles your marketing and somebody that's recently become an agent himself. Can you tell me about your husband?
Mr. Torian Robinson.
Yes.
That husband.
Yeah, well,
The one and only.
the one you have, yeah.
Right? Yes, he's oh my God. He's like my biggest cheerleader. I mean, he doesn't seem like he speaks a lot, but he does. He speaks to me, right? He's so introverted and relaxed. He's literally opposite me.
Okay.
But he's an amazing. I feel like the fact that him and I have finally come together on something, God is blessing us that much more.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
We're finally on the same wavelength. And so it's like, oh, really? So here, blessing. And it's just overflow at this point. And he balances me. He, he'll keep me humble every now and then, right? You need that. When my head gets big, he'll like, yeah, girl, have a seat. Right? He keeps me grounded, right?
Right.
But yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. He does all my marketing.
Yes.
Right? And he's awesome. He's become a self-taught marketer.
Yes.
And people literally are in our DM now like, oh, your marketing is amazing. Can you do some of marketing? Like wanting to pay
Oh, wow.
for us to do their marketing. And I'm like, look at you. Okay.
Right.
Let's get it. Right? So he's amazing.
Is anything? I mean, I feel like I would possibly, if I became an agent,
Right.
and my wife was doing numbers like that,
Right.
I may be a little intimidated. So how does he handle that? Like,
not that guy.
That's a tough, that's a tough thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's never been that guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wish like, can you just be a little bit? No. But now I know it's for good reason.
Yeah.
Because we can't have two of that same type of person. Because another man, typical man, so to speak, right, would get, I'm sorry, I mean, that's what it is.
I'm a typical
An
man.
alpha male, I guess,
Yeah.
right? He'd be intimidated and,
Right.
no. But we're a team. We have our daughter, and our common goal is, let's make sure that mortgage is paying. Let's
Right.
make sure the savings looks like what it's supposed to look
Right.
like. Let's make, pay down on some of these bills.
Yeah.
We recently have purchased a home July last year.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, okay, let's finish furnishing. Let's finish, putting the finishing touches. Like, there's a lot to be done. And when I first quit my job and just went head first into the business, we had to make a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, entrepreneurship, you don't know what you're going to get the next day. It's on you.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So if I had a string of accounts go through or whatever, I'm feeling myself, then I wouldn't work 3-4 days after.
Right.
Right? Because that was classic Joanne behavior.
Okay.
Like, I know this is going to clear, that's going to clear. But then when you realize, insufficient fund, no account located, and then they all don't go through it, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
Just things like that. Just lessons.
I got you.
Life lessons. And then to have somebody like that in my corner, it's just, I'm beyond blessed.
There you go. Talking about your husband, you mentioned you guys have a kid. And so one thing we always talk about on the podcast and just in senior life in general, like, what is your why?
My daughter, my family, of course. But my daughter looks up to me so much. And these last 2 months, 3 months now, have not been easy because, mommy's out there getting it.
Yeah.
And she knows. And I'm, the reason why I looked for the opportunity to begin with is because I never had the luxury of dropping my daughter to school. Something as little as that. I just never got to drop her off. All my jobs have been at least an hour away from home.
Oh, wow.
So since birth, my daughter she's always been, south, and I always had to travel north to my job.
Wow.
And it's always been at least an hour away from my house. So the littlest thing, like dropping your kid off to school or picking her up from school, that just wasn't it. And making sure I had enough emergency contacts there, so God forbid something happens, that someone could pick up my child, because I know it's going to take me at least an hour to get to her.
Yeah.
Sucks. So that was my why alone, as to why I had to flip it on its head and make sure that she knew, especially this day and age, women are winning. It is what it is.
Yes, I mean, it's true, but
we're winning. We're winning.
In a room full of men right now.
Right? Security. But we're winning, right? We're winning. And she needs to understand, as she's an only child and she's a woman, a little woman, right, in the making. And she needs to know, mommy does that. And she calls me boss lady. Like, you should see her. She's like, she introduces me to her classmates as, you guys, introducing Joanne Robinson of Senior Life Insurance Company. And all the kids are like, oh my God. And I'm like, you guys, I'm like, Linda, you can't do that. I'm so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. This is literally the introduction, because she sees the Scoop magazine and she sees me like in the editions, and she's like, Mom, you're in a magazine again. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Like, honey, it's an eternal magazine. But nonetheless. I'm like, okay, we're the only ones. But nonetheless, I'm her hero and her,
right.
And, I'm her role model.
Right.
So now I have to, keep that up and let her know, you choose to go to college, you choose to, but if not, Mom's gonna hire you. You could be on the team, girl.
She's always got a job,
right?
Is judging from that story, her personality is a lot like yours?
Oh my gosh, she's a hot mess.
So with this, is quiet as your husband is, like, how does
hilarious.
How does he handle a room with the two of you?
Tori is very deceptive. He's not quiet.
I got
He's selling out the entire time. And everyone who knows him knows that.
Right.
Like, he's just selling out the entire time. He's one of those.
Well, he did a good job, because when I've met him multiple occasions, he's a great person, but we just hadn't said too much to each other. Very to himself.
Wait, give it time.
So he's faking.
Yes, he's faking it. He knows how to do that very well.
Definitely. Speaking of, relationships, that's your family relationship. Tell me a little bit more about your relationship with Kiki.
So Kiki, she's like my sister at this point. That's sis.
You guys known each other for a while.
Oh, forever.
Right? Yeah.
Forever. So Kiki, I mean, she's Kiki.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot. And the thing is, these type of I guess, opportunities or situations will bring it out of you.
Yeah.
Right? Because they always tell you, business is like a marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've always, it's my partner, Kiki, that's my partner. And it's a big step to go into a different space with someone.
Right.
Right? Because you've always had that social space, but now we're talking.
It's a little more serious.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking money. We're talking, it gets serious when it comes to that. You're talking livelihood. So it's basically have shown, we've seen the other side of each other.
Right.
And, it's good, bad, ugly, right? Beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it always does this.
Just comes back around.
This is me and Kiki. Literally, this is our relationship.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And it's only because we know we're on two separate paths, but together. Do you understand? If that makes sense, it's in tandem.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, but we're still in tandem. Mm-hmm. So the end game is going to be the same. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of how we get there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we just have to both experience what we have to experience to get there, to make us who we have to be by the time we catapult First Prestige to the next level.
Well, tell me about First Prestige, because she said that yesterday during, or maybe it was today, it was during our leadership conference that we had with you guys. It was when you guys actually formally announced the partnership.
The partnership, yes.
What was that like?
Joanne and Kiki, Gertrude and Mary. Gertrude.
She said it. I'm not the one giving out middle names, but
Gertrude and Mary
right.
are finally announcing, because everybody already thought we were, right?
Yeah. I mean, as much as you guys work together, as much as you guys do together,
exactly.
the
But
relationship,
we've made it official, and we've got all the paperwork, and
right.
we are officially.
So why do that? Why go from the friendship to the business relationship? Why do that? What's the why in that?
Because it was God's plan. We're stronger together. Yeah. I mean, we could do it apart, absolutely, but we look so much better together.
There you go. It's just
it is what it is.
It's just that simple.
It is what it is.
So what's the future hold for First Prestige? What can we expect from the two of y'all putting that agency together?
Miracles.
Yeah.
Right? Leaps and bounds. Like, we're going to break records left and right. We've already started.
We've
already
clearly
started.
Clearly.
Right? So, next level.
Yeah.
Next level. Especially as women and Black women at that, right? We're breaking records left and right. And I need to leave that legacy for her daughters, for my daughter. We need it. We need it this day and age with our climate. Like, it's necessary.
Yeah.
It's bigger than us.
Wow.
It's bigger than us. So we got to do it.
When did you come to that realization, though, that it was much bigger?
December-ish.
Okay.
Like on one of my darkest days, I had a dark day.
Okay.
I just knew, when you have everything riding on one thing and it doesn't go through.
Right.
That's what happened in December. And that day, and I tell, like,
December, just past December.
Just past December.
Okay.
That day, it's like my whole world was pulled from under me because I had everything riding on this.
You don't have to speak on it, but would you be willing to? Or?
Of course. No, because it was work related. I just knew we were going to implement something.
Okay.
And it didn't go through. Like, it didn't go as I thought it was going to. And, I started to blame everyone, of course. That's what we do. And I cried. I had the last pity party, you guys. I had a pity party. Cried my little lashes off and like 4 hours. 4 hours of crying. But I'm the type of person who, when I'm going through something, you're not going to see it. I don't look like what I've been through.
I got
or
you.
what I'm going through.
I got you.
Because I don't want anybody asking me, are you okay? I'm just one of those.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to go through it, I go through it privately. And it's like, all right, Joe, get it together. Get it together, Joe. Get it together. You're tougher than this. You're this. It takes a lot for me it takes a lot to break me.
I got you.
And that broke me.
Wow.
It broke me. And I was like, you know what? I don't ever want to be in this space again. And I literally just sat there in a room for 4 hours, cried and prayed, cried and prayed, cried and prayed. And it's been literally my production every month has been better than the last.
Wow.
From that point on. Because I said no more excuses. And I just had a different mentality because I would tiptoe around everyone else's needs and not mine. Like, make sure everybody's okay with what I'm about to do.
Right.
And now it's a no excuse or a no apologies mentality. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then take this after. You understand? Like, or if it hurt you or you didn't think twice, right? To do what you had to do.
Right.
So now I'm not going to think twice to do what I have to do.
Right.
Right. So since then, putting life in perspective that way, as putting my needs first and not everyone else's, has gotten me to where I am today.
Was that a hard thing to do? I feel like if you spend a good portion of your life already doing that,
right,
putting people first,
right,
and then you have the 4-hour session with yourself, like, is it difficult to make that transition, or was it because of that moment it just automatically happened? Was it like a cold turkey from that to that?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
And I prayed on it. I prayed on it every day.
Yeah.
Every day. It's literally a part of my prayers daily. It just is, because it's something I struggle with. And it's just like, okay, just order my steps, because that means your will. It's your will. It's not mine.
Yeah.
Order me. Have me do what you want me to do. And that's where we'll go.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been. That's it. It's that simple.
With the amazing production you've been doing, like you said, every month was better than the last, and then the last 2 months have just been
explosive.
Insane.
Explosive.
Like, how do you even get to? Do you feel like you were holding yourself back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because and now everybody's looking at me like, really, Joe? Really? What have you been doing the last year? Right. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? But it just is.
I mean, the last year you did have a considerable amount of
Right.
success.
Right.
You did really good numbers, and you had a lot of really good months and everything. But it definitely was not on the level of what you're doing this year.
No.
So I wouldn't say that like you weren't doing anything for a year. I would just say like what you're doing now eclipses what most
Everything.
are doing.
Everything. I was literally attacked this week. They're like, "What are you doing, girl?" When you like inboxing me and stuff. It's just I had to get out of my own way. I've always known my potential.
Yeah.
Because I talk a good one. It's just a matter of if I'm going to do it or not. If I'm going to back it up, I can talk it up real good.
So you feel like your success is up to you?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like that's kind of probably the same for everybody else?
Absolutely. Get out your own way.
Yeah.
And start looking in the mirror sometimes and stop blaming everybody else for your problems. That's it. Like me, sometimes I'll have problems owning up to stuff, but for the most part, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the problem most of the time.
Which also would mean you're the solution.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There,
See? We don't have you behind this mic for nothing now.
I can host a little bit.
Right?
I got a couple episodes under my belt. So let's talk about, the future. What does the future hold for First Prestige? What does the future hold for Joanne with Senior Life?
Okay. So with Senior Life, I mean, big things, big things to come for both First Prestige. We've got our work cut out for us. It sounds good coming out of our mouths the way we're mapping it out, but analysis paralysis. So now it's like we just got to do it now.
Yeah.
Because we're good for a meeting, me and Kiki. But that's what took us a year in the first place.
A lot of meetings.
Right? We're like, girl, and then we just get off course. But now that we've got some, now we see what's at stake, right? We could taste it. Like we've got a taste of the business, right? The account's looking better, right? We're on visit number 37 over here,
Something like that.
Right? And now we know, as far as our marketing team and our leadership and home office, like we know the go-to to make this work and to take us to the next level, where there's really no excuse not to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've always had the support of Doug and Mark, of course, and our team. But, it becomes, like I said, it's the norm. Like you become complacent. You're used to it.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of friendly competition, right? I'm competitive, right? And making sure that we're number one.
Yeah.
Right? By all means necessary.
Can I take a jab at you real quick?
Oh, no.
With those big numbers, somebody on your team beat you by
Right,
just a little
right.
bit.
But I
by
was
like an
sick.
app or two.
I was sick. Excuses.
So
Oh, what, you're dying.
Killing it, being number one the previous month, and then being at number two.
Number two, the second.
Did that bother you?
It did.
Yeah.
It irked me to
Yeah.
my core. But
You keep looking at the camera like
right.
She keeps like addressing people directly during this podcast.
But no, she deserved it. That's number one.
Yeah.
She deserved
Definitely.
it. That's first and foremost.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not making up any excuses, but I was sick for 4 days and stuff. And my team,
Yes.
we hit 64,000.
Absolutely.
And that was my first time. So we won anyway. Like, to me,
That is not bad out the gate at all.
we won
to do numbers
anyway. Like
that, yeah.
I had one of my first agents to do 13,000. Like we were like this. So people were eating on my team, and I know I created the formula for them to eat.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I hit 64. That was all me.
There you go.
That's my
There you go.
achievement, because I feel good about
Yeah.
helping others. So it is what it is. But it's friendly competition, and I'm glad that she pushes me the way that she has, because it's really her and Blake, right, who pushed me.
Yeah.
It's like, if these two can do it in these type of numbers, why can't I?
Yeah.
And I did. From day one, from when I lost the contest. And literally during that same meeting, when they're announcing it, I politely walked out and started making calls in the lobby. Because I was like, right?
Politely.
I was like, excuse me. 'Cause it was like a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had won the I just knew I was going to win that contest. And I didn't. And I didn't win by a long, like 15,000.
Right.
That was the disparity. I was like, what did these people do? And they went to work.
They went to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 7 days a week.
Same 7 days for everybody.
The same 7 days. You get the same 24 hours per day.
Yep.
they did it. So I was like, okay, all right, Joe, let's go, girl.
All right.
I started it like this.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Blew up.
There it is. There it
Blew
is.
up.
During the podcast, when we have our guests, we always try to give them the opportunity in case we missed anything, or if there's anything you want to say. Is there anything you want to address before we wrap up this episode?
Well, I would like to just thank all of you here at home office. I mean, you guys don't know, but Thomas,
Chill out.
this guy here, and I feel so bad because he's just so chill. And I'm like, I know he's cursing me out. And I said,
No,
I
not at
know
all.
it's like a Saturday. And I'm like, look, I'm going to need you to overnight me. Right. But our marketing department is just untouchable. Second to none. And you guys are so supportive, like, period, like Senior Life, period. The way the culture is here.
Yeah.
And I come from, these Fortune 500 companies and very corporate and structured.
Right.
You will never have a CEO invite you to the house.
Right.
You'll never just have lunch with, you understand? And it's not like just one or two top producers. No, it's literally anyone can just come over and like, this is the type of atmosphere.
Yes.
You're not just another number. And I value that.
Yeah.
I value that so much only because the last couple CEOs I've worked for, they were just so far removed, right? And yeah, they try to come off like, oh yeah, we're down to earth. We are. You're not.
No.
You're not, because it's transparency, right?
Yeah.
We could see right through you.
Yeah.
And I think we appreciate it that much more because they sort of come from the bottom, just like we did,
Yeah.
right? And not necessarily saying everybody in here was dirt poor or anything like
Right.
that. That's not the case. But a lot of us didn't have the trust fund already waiting, right?
Yeah.
We all worked hard, like, to get where we're at. And I think we just appreciate it that much more. And it exudes through everything Senior Life does.
Yeah.
You can feel it. It's just a different vibe. And we make no apologies for it.
No, not at all.
I love it.
Not at all.
I love it. And y'all bend over backwards for us the same way we do for y'all. One hand washes the other, they both wash the face.
There you go.
And that's it.
There it is.
That's it, right? So that's pretty much it. Ron, Uncle Mitch, Doug, Mark, Kiki, Tori, Thomas.
Yes.
Thomas for president.
I'm with
right?
it. I'm with it.
Robert, all of you guys. Like, amazing.
Definitely.
Amazing. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you so much. You have one of the most amazing, most incredible spirits in a human being I've ever seen. Just absolutely incredible, the energy that you bring every time since the very first day I met you. I'm so glad that you've managed to kick yourself in the butt and
Right.
really get it going, because I really feel like that you're one of those people, not just in this company, but in this industry, that can make
Right.
a lot of history and that can help a lot of people, whether it be policy holders or bringing people on and showing them how this is actually done. So I just want you to know that I greatly appreciate you, and I am very proud of you, and I'm very happy that you're
Thank
on board and
you.
part of this family.
Thank you.
So that wraps this episode up of the All Fired Up podcast. We had, of course, the wonderful, beautiful Joanne in the building. And like we say on every single episode and every single day, it's Senior Life, all your life.